Shalom, shalom, Israel. And well, I actually, I was watching some channel. It's a white guy. He always trying to prophesy and scream his Jesus stuff all the time. So I comment on his page. So then he tried to put like a million scriptures up there that had nothing to do with what I was saying. I just kept asking who are the people, and he just did not want to answer. So then other people started commenting because I said this is our land, and I ran down the whole thing, and other people were commenting. And then I had a guy comment that was like, he's a I think he's a Mongo, which are the people that they try to call the Mayans now, which they're not, because a lot of them people are Asiatic people. So but then another gentleman hit me. I'm not sure what he is, but I think the Most High led him to give me a book to read. So he asked me about one book which I already had. It's about Og and Cain and Og. No, is it Cain and Og? No, it's Lamech and Og. And I told him I already had that one. And then he gave me another book to read, which is, it's called the second book of Adam and Eve. So, a lot of the stuff I print out. If you can't buy the book, sometimes you can print out some of the stuff. And of course, they're gonna put their little twist in it. So you you take the bone, you chew the meat, spit the bone away. Throw the bone out. So the first thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The one thing we really need to start doing is fasting. We need to fast. We really need to start getting on our, because that purifies you. And I used to fast a lot, and I haven't done it in a while, and I'm about to get back to all that. But let's get into this book, because this thing, now that, Big Judah's bringing out things, Con Drop is bringing out different things. Everybody's bringing out something. Everybody has something to add. That's why it's like it's a whole body. It ain't just one person that got the truth. The Most High is giving it to everybody he wants to spread it. Some people may not have a lot of views, but they're in these different books. But it'll only take 2 to 3 people that do have a lot of views to comment on a video they watch with somebody that don't have any views. And that will lead people to look at that page. The Most High works in mysterious ways, like he do. He works his ways. So let's get into this book, y'all. This thing is, whoo. Listen, you can hear the Most High's voice in it, though. You can hear his voice in it. I'll tell you that much. You can hear it in there. Especially now that we've been reading these other books. You can hear his voice. Alright. So this is second book of Adam and Eve. Chapter 1. Oh, let me turn this on. I'm a Kung Fu flick boy, too. I love Kung Fu flicks. Let's turn it down. Alright. The grief-stricken family. Cain marries Lulawa. You notice the last name, Wa. Hawa. Lulawa. Just pay attention to some words. And they moved away. When Lulawa heard Cain's words, she wept and went to call her father and mother, and told them how that Cain had killed his brother Abel. Then they all cried aloud and lifted up their voices, and slapped their faces, and threw dust upon their heads, and rent asunder their garments, and went out and came to the place where Abel was killed. And they found him lying on the earth, killed, and beasts around him. Wow! They wept and cried because of this just one. Meaning he was righteous. For his body, by reason of its purity, went forth a smell of sweet spices. So that means he didn't have no filth in his body. He wouldn't eat no unclean things. You know that when you eat foul food, your body emits a foul odor. Why you think when you pass gas, it stinks? Especially when you eat pork or chicken. Chicken is not good. So let's get back into this thing. Okay. And Adam carried him, his tears streaming down his face, and went to the cave of treasures, where he laid him, and wound him up with sweet spices and myrrh. And Adam and Eve continued by the burial of him in great grief 140 days. Abel was 15.5 years old. He was a teenager. And Cain 17.5 years old. As for Cain, when the mourning for his brother was ended, he took his sister Lulawa and married her without leave from his father and mother, for they could not keep him from her by reason of their heavy heart. He then went down to the bottom of the mountain, away from the garden, near to the place where he had killed his brother. And in that place were many fruit trees and forest trees. His sister bare him children, who in their turn began to multiply by degrees until they filled that place. But as for Adam and Eve, they came not together after Abel's funeral for 7 years. After this, however, Eve conceived, and while she was with child, Adam said to her, "Come, let us take an offering and offer it up unto Hawa, and ask him to give us a fair child, in whom we may find comfort, and whom we may join in marriage to Abel's sister." Then they prepared an offering, and brought it up to the altar, and offered it before Hawa, and began to entreat him to accept their offering, and to give them good offspring. And Hawa heard Adam, and accepted his offering. Then they worshiped Adam and Eve and their daughter, and came down to the cave of treasures, and placed a lamp in it, to burn by night and by day before the body of Abel. Then Adam and Eve continued fasting and praying until Eve's time came, that she could be delivered, when she said to Adam, "I wish to go to the cave in the rock, to bring forth in it." And he said, "Go and take with thee thy daughter, to wait on thee, but I will remain in this cave of treasures before the body of my son Abel." Then Eve hearkened to Adam, and went, she and her daughter, but Adam remained by himself in the cave of treasures. A third son is born to Adam and Eve. And Eve brought forth a son, perfectly beautiful in figure and in countenance. His beauty was like that of his father Adam, yet more beautiful. Then Eve was confronted when she saw him. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Comforted. I don't know. Sometimes I get a little nervous. Sorry. And saw him, and remained 8 days in the cave. Then she sent her daughter unto Adam, to tell him to come and see the child, and to name him. Right there, you can tell this is pretty much a precept out of the scriptures too, because you're supposed to what is it? Oh my goodness! You cut the foreskin off the child's penis, and on the 8th day, it says she remained she remained for 8 days in the cave. And you might not circumcise. They might not have said circumcised, but it says 8 days, so that's close. Okay. But the daughter stayed in. Let me make sure I was at the right place. Tell him to come see you and name him. But the daughter stayed in his place by the body of her brother until Adam returned. So did she. But when Adam came and saw the child's good looks, his beauty, and his perfect figure, he rejoiced over him and was comforted for Abel. Then he named the child Seth. That means that God has heard my prayer and has delivered me out of my affliction. But it means also power and strength. It's about to be good, y'all. Then after Adam had named the child, he returned to the cave of treasures, and his daughter went back to her mother. But Eve continued in her cave until 40 days were fulfilled, when she came to Adam and brought with her the child and her daughter. And they came to a river of water, where Adam and his daughter washed themselves because of their sorrow for Abel. But Eve and the babe was washed for purification. Then they returned and took an offering and went to the mountain and offered it up for the babe. And Hawa accepted their offering and sent his blessings upon them and upon their son Seth. And they came back to the cave of treasures. As for Adam, he knew not again his wife Eve all the days of her life, neither was any more offspring born of them, but only those five, Cain, Lelewa, Abel, Akela, and Seth alone. But Seth waxed in stature, and in strength, and began to fast and pray fervently. That answers the question right there with Adam and Eve. After they said he had Cain and Abel, he had other children, but they did not name them in the scriptures. Here they go. Chapter 3. Satan appears as a beautiful woman tempting Adam, telling him, "Is still a youth. Spread thy youth in mirth and pleasure." The different forms which Satan takes. As for our father Adam, at the end of the 7 years from the day he had been severed from his wife Eve, Satan envied him when he saw him thus separated from her, and strove to make him live with her again. Then Adam arose and went up above the cave of treasures and continued to sleep there night and day. But as soon as it was light, every day he came down to the cave to pray there and to receive a blessing from it. But when it was evening, he went up on the roof of the cave, where he slept by himself, fearing lest Satan should overcome him. And he continued thus apart 39 days. Then Satan, the hater of all good, when he saw Adam thus alone, fasting and praying, appeared unto him in the form of a beautiful woman, who came and stood before him in the night of the 40th day, and said unto him, O Adam, from the time ye have dwelt in this cave, we have experienced great peace from you, and your prayers have reached us, and we have been comforted about you. But now, O Adam, that thou hast gone up over the roof of the cave to sleep, we have no doubts about thee, and a great sorrow has come upon us because of thy separation from Eve. Then again, when thou art on the roof of this cave, thy prayer is poured out, and thy heart wanders from side to side. But when thou wast in the cave, thy prayer was like a fire gathered together. It came down to us, and thou did find rest. Then I also grieved over thy children, who was severed from thee, and my sorrow was great about the murder of thy son Abel. For he was righteous, and over a righteous man everyone will grieve. But I rejoiced over the birth of thy son Seth. Yet, after a little while, I sorrowed greatly over Eve, because she is my sister. For when Hawa sent a deep sleep over thee, and drew her out of thy side. Listen to that. Now I forgot the name of the book, but I read that it wasn't a rib that the Most High took, it was the blood. He made Eve from blood of Adam. So now that this is saying that, for when Hawa sent a deep sleep over thee, and drew her out of thy side. He didn't say take her out, he said drew. You draw blood. Just paying attention to what's being said. He brought me out also with her, but he raised her by placing her with thee, while he lowered me. Boy, that's Satan. He a slick one, ain't he? He know how to talk. Got some game with him. I rejoiced over my sister, for her being with thee. But Hawa had made me a promise before, and said, grieve not. When Adam is gone up on the roof of the cave of treasures, and separated from Eve his wife, I will send thee to him. Thou shalt join thyself to him in marriage, and bear him 5 children, as did Eve did bear him 5. And now lo, Hawa's promise to me is fulfilled, for it is he who sent me to thee for the wedding, because if thou wed me, I shall bear thee finer and better children than those of Eve. That's how you know that's Satan right there. It's always something. It's always got to be more better or decenter or something. It's never just children. You always got to put a little emphasis on it, And that's nasty too. Ew. That's like probably a hermaphrodite or something. Then again, thou art as yet but a youth, and not thy youth in this world, in sorrow, but spend the day of thy youth in mirth and pleasure. For thy days are few, and thy trial is great. Be strong in thy days in this world in rejoicing. I shall take pleasure in thee, and thou shalt rejoice with me in this wise and without fear. You can hear it, the wickedness, because everything's about pleasure. And that's what this world is about. It's all about pleasure. It's all about fulfilling your need. Up then and fulfill the commandment of thy power. She then drew near to Adam and embraced him. Ill. But when Adam saw that he should be overwhelmed by her, he prayed to Hawa with a fervent heart to deliver him from her. Then Hawa sent his word unto Adam, saying, O Adam, that figure is the one that promised thee the Godhead and majesty in the garden. There it is, right there, y'all. That's the sin. Listen, think about it. Then Hawa sent his word unto Adam, saying, O Adam, that figure is the one that promised thee the Godhead and majesty. That's the sin right there, because that's a promise. And he says that Satan promised this to Adam. So whatever Adam and them did to get this Godhead, that's the sin they did. I wonder what they did. He is not favorable disposed towards thee, but shows himself to thee at one time in the form of a woman, another moment in the likeness of an angel, on another occasion in the similitude of a serpent. And at another time, in the semblance of a God. That means he came to him a lot. He came to him, let me see, dispose towards him and show himself. Well, he showed himself as a woman, one, likeness of an angel, two, on occasion of some, three, semblance of a God. He came to him 4 times. But he does all that only to destroy thy soul. So Satan came to Adam 4 times. See that? In the garden, he said he only came once. So there's a lot of stuff missing, y'all. It's a lot missing. Now therefore, O Adam, understand thy heart. I have delivered thee many times from his hand. You hear that? In order to show thee that I am a merciful power, and that I wish thy good, and that I do not wish thy ruin. Chapter 6. Adam sees the devil in his true colors. Then Hawa orders Satan to show himself to Adam plainly in his own hideous form. So for anybody that says the devil run around and do what he want, there it shows you right there. He don't have no control. He does what he's told. But when Adam saw him, he feared and trembled at the sight of him. And Hawa said unto Adam, look at this devil, and at his hideous look, and know that he it is who made thee fall from brightness into darkness, from peace and rest to toil and misery. Wow. And look, O Adam, at him. He said of himself that he is God. I got to read that again. And look, O Adam, at him who said of himself that he is Hawa. I'm going to say it like that because I don't like saying God. So Satan told him he's the Most High. Can Hawa be black? Would Hawa take the form of a woman? That lets you know that Hawa can change forms. Is there anyone stronger than Hawa? And can he be overpowered? Wow. See then, O Adam, and behold him, bind in thy presence, in the air and able to fly away. Oh, he got him like suspended. Therefore I say unto thee, be not afraid of him. Henceforth take care and be aware of him, and whatever he may do to thee. So when it says here, it says, see then, O Adam, and behold him, bound in thy presence. So the Most High had him like suspended. It says, in thy presence, in the air, unable to fly away, meaning he couldn't leave. That's crazy. Then Hawa drove Satan away from before him, whom he strengthened and whose heart he comforted, saying to him, go down to the cave of treasures, and separate not thyself from Eve. I will quell in you all animal lust. From that hour I left Adam and Eve, and they enjoyed rest by the commandment of Hawa. But Hawa did not the like to any one of Adam's seed, but only to Adam and Eve. So he put this animal lust in them. He didn't do it for nobody else. As 4 times. This ended the 40 days of his separation from Eve. The devil paints a brilliant picture for Seth to feast his thoughts upon. Wow. As for Seth, when he was 7 years old, he knew good and evil, and was consistent in fasting and praying, and spent all his nights entreating Hawa for mercy and for forgiveness. That just show you right there that the people from the past were way more smarter than we were. Because this child's 7 years old and doing what we won't do now. He also fasted when bringing up his offering every day. more than his father did, for he was of a fair countenance, like unto an angel of Hawa. He also had a good heart, preserved the finest qualities of his soul, and for this reason he brought up his offering every day. And Hawa was pleased with his offering, but he was also pleased with his purity, and he continued thus in doing the will of Hawa and his father and mother until he was 7 years old. After that, as he was corning down from the altar, having ended his offering, Satan appeared unto him in the form of a beautiful angel, brilliant with light, with the staff of light in his hand, himself girt about with a girdle of light. I want to make something really known to y'all. In the New Testimony, the new trash, that's what I call it, who appeared to somebody as light? Think about that. Beautiful as in light. Just think about that. And he did it to Paul. Paul too. Two people appeared as light. Think about that. He greeted Seth with a beautiful smile and begun to beguile him with fair words, saying to him, O Seth, why abidest thou in this mountain? For it is rough, full of stones and of sand, and of trees with no good fruit on them, a wilderness without habitation, and without towns, no good place to dwell in, but all is heat, weariness, and trouble. He said further, but we dwell in a beautiful place, in another world. Kind of drop, in another world than this earth. Our world is of light, and our condition is of the best. Our women are handsomer than any others, and I wish thee, O Seth, to wed one of them, because I see that thou art fair to look upon, and in this land there is not one woman good enough for thee. Besides, all those who live in this world are only 5 souls. But in our world there are very many men and many maidens, all more beautiful one than another. I wish therefore to remove thee hence, that thou mayest see my relations and be wedded to whichever thou likest. Thou shalt then abide by me and be at peace. Thou shalt be fulfilled with splendor and light as we are. Thou shalt remain in our world and rest from this world and the misery of it. Thou shalt never again feel faint and weary. Thou shalt never bring up an offering, nor sue for mercy, for thou shalt commit no more sin, nor be swayed by passion. And if thou wilt hearken to what I say, thou shalt wed one of my daughters. For with us it is no sin so to do, neither is it reckoned animal lust. For in our world we have no God, but we are all gods. We all are of light, heavenly, powerful, strong, and glorious. That boy a liar. Drink some soda. Thirsty. Self-conscience helps him. He returned to Adam and Eve. When Seth heard the words, he was amazed, and inclined his heart to Satan's treacherous speech, and said to him, Saidest thou, there is another world created than this? and other creatures more beautiful than the creatures that are in this world? And Satan said, Yes, behold, thou hast heard me, but I will yet praise them and their ways in thy hearing. But Seth said unto him, Thy speech has amazed me, and thy beautiful description of it all. Yet I cannot go with thee today, not until I have gone to my father Adam and my mother Eve, and told them all that hast said to me. Then if they give me leave to go with thee, I will come. Again Seth said, I am afraid of doing anything without my father's and mother's leave, lest I perish like my brother Cain, and like my father Adam, who transgressed the commandment of Hawa. But behold, thou knowest this place. Come and meet me here tomorrow. When Satan heard this, he said to Seth, If thou tellest thy father Adam what I have told thee, I will not let thee come with me. That would tell me right there, you up to something. But hearken to me. Do not tell thy father and thy mother what I have said to thee, but come with me today to our world. Oh, he says to our world, where thou shalt see beautiful things and enjoy thyself there, and rival this day among my children, beholding them, and taking thy fill in mirth, and rejoice evermore. Then I shall bring thee back to this place tomorrow. But if thou wouldst rather abide with me, so be it. Then Seth answered, The spirit of my father and my mother hangs on me, and if I hide from them one day, they will die, and Hawa will hold me guilty of sinning against them. And except that they know I am come to this place to bring up to it my offering, they would not be separated from me 1 hour, neither should I go to any other place unless they let me. But they treat me most kindly, because I come back to them quickly. Young bull got some respect, don't he? Then Satan said to him, What will happen to thee if thou hide thyself from them one night and return to them at break of day? Ain't that crazy? This sounds like what children do today. Ain't that something? But Seth, when he said how he kept on talking, but Seth, when he saw, how he kept on talking, that he would not leave him, ran and went up to the altar and spread his hands unto Hawa and sought deliverance from him. Wow, this young boy. See that's some faith right there. Then Hawa sent his word and cursed Satan, who fled from him. But as for Seth, he had gone up to the altar, saying thus in his heart, The altar is the place of offering, and Hawa is there. A divine fire shall consume it, so shall Satan be unable to hurt me, and shall not take me away thence. Then Seth came down from the altar and went to his father and mother, whom he found in the way, longing to hear his voice, for he had tarried a while. He then began to tell them what had befallen him from Satan under the form of an angel. But when Adam heard his account, he kissed his face and warned him against that angel, telling him it was Satan who thus appeared to him. Then Adam took Seth, and they went to the cave of treasures and rejoiced therein. But from that day forth Adam and Eve never parted from him to whatever place he might go, whether for his offering or for anything else. The sign happened to Seth when he was 9 years old. All right, y'all, come on. We getting close, y'all. We getting close. Seth marries Akela. Adam lives to see grandchildren and great grandchildren. When our father Adam saw that Seth was of a perfect heart, he wished him to marry, lest the enemy should appear to him another time and overcome him. So Adam said to his son Seth, I wish, O my son, that thou wed thy sister Akela, Abel's sister, that she may bear thee children, who shall replenish the earth according to Hawah's promise to us. Be not afraid, O son, there is no disgrace in it. I wish thee to marry from fair, lest the enemy overcome thee. So Adam is saying there's no disgrace to marry his brother's sister. Okay. Seth, however, did not wish to marry, but in obedience to his father and mother, he said not a word. So Adam married him to Akela, and he was 15 years old. But when he was 20 years of age, he begat a son, whom he called Enos, and then begat another children than him. I said other children. Then Enos grew up, married, and begat Canaan. Canaan also grew up, married, and begat Mihalel. Oh, I'll say Mihalel. Okay. Those fathers were born during Adam's lifetime and dwelt by the cave of treasures. Then were the days of Adam 930 years, and those of Mihalel 100. But Mihalel when he was grown up, loved fasting, praying, and with hard labors, until the end of our father Adam's days drew near. Adam's remarkable last words. He predicts the flood and exhorts his offspring to good. He reveals certain mysteries of life. All right, y'all, here we go. This is where it gets a little, all of it's interesting, but it gets a little bit more now. When our father Adam saw that his end was near, he called his son Seth, who came to him in the cave of treasures. And he said unto him, O Seth, my son, bring me thy children and thy children's children, that I may shed my blessings on them ere I die. When Seth heard these words, his father Adam, he went forth from him, shed a flood of tears over his face, and gathered together his children and his children's children, and brought them to his father Adam. But when our father Adam saw them around him, he wept at having to be separated from them. And when they saw him weeping, they all wept together, and fell upon his face, saying, How shalt thou be severed from us, O our father? And how shall the earth receive thee, and hide thee from our eyes? Thus did they lament much in like words. Then our father Adam blessed them all, and said to Seth, after he had blessed them, O Seth, my son, thou knowest this word, that it is full of sorrow. Oh God, I keep saying these crazy words. It's like, when you read and your mind just put what it wants instead. You see it, but your mind put what it wants. Is this world, that it is full of sorrow and of weariness. And thou knowest all that has come upon us from our trials in it. I therefore command thee in these words, to keep innocency, oh, that's a hard word to say, to be pure and just, and trusting in Hawa, and learn not to discourses of Satan, nor to apparitions in which he shall show himself to thee. But keep the commandments that I give thee this day. Then give the same to thy son Enos, and let Enos give it to his sons Canaan, and Canaan to his sons Mihalel. so that his commandment abide firm among all your children. O Seth, my son, the moment I am dead, take ye my body, and wind it up with myrrh, aloes, and cassia, and leave me here in this cave of treasures, in which all these tokens which Hawa gave us from the garden. So these myrrh, cassia, and aloes are from the garden of Eden. O my son, hereafter shall a flood come and overwhelm all creatures, and leave out only 8 souls. But, O my son, let those whom it will leave out from among your children at that time take my body with them out of this cave, and when they have taken it with them, let the oldest among them command his children to lay my body in a ship until the flood has been assuaged, and they come out of the ship. Then they shall take my body and lay it in the middle of the earth. This is where I wanted to tell you about it. So I'm gonna just read it and then I'll talk about it. But this is crazy. Well, actually, it confirms a lot of stuff that Kondrop was talking about and Big Judah. In the middle of the earth, shortly after they have been saved from the waters of the flood. For the place where my body shall be laid is the middle of the earth. So he's telling you, after the flood, when they land in America, in Cusco, lay his body there in this land. So you know where Adam's at. But here it's a twist to it, because he's going to tell you what's going to happen to his body. Hawa shall come from thence and shall save all our kind. But now, O Seth, my son, place thyself at the head of thy people, tend them and watch over them in the fear of Hawa, and lead them in a good way. Command them to fast unto Hawa, and make them understand they ought not to hearken to Satan, lest he destroy them. So this fasting is serious, yo. We gotta start fasting a lot. Then again, sever thy children and thy children's children from Cain's children. Do not let them ever mix with those, nor come near them, neither in their words or in their deeds. Big Judah, that's you right there. Yep. Then Adam let his blessings descend upon Seth, and upon his children, and upon all his children's children. He then turned to his son Seth, and to Eve his wife, and said to them, preserve this gold, this incense, and this myrrh, that Hawa has given us for a sign. For in the days that are coming, a flood will overwhelm the whole creation. But those who shall go into the ark shall take with them the gold, the incense, and the myrrh, together with my body, and will lay the gold, the incense, and the myrrh with my body in the midst of the earth. And after a long time, the city in which the gold, the incense, and the myrrh are found with my body shall be plundered. Adam's body was taken. But when it is spoiled, the gold, the incense, and the myrrh shall be taken care of with the spoil that is kept, and naught of them shall perish. So he's saying his body didn't perish until the word of God made man, until the word of Hawa, made man shall come. Well, hold on. Until the word of Hawa. Oh, okay. Made man shall come. When kings shall take them, and shall offer to him gold in token of his being king, incense in token of his being God of heaven and earth, and myrrh is token of his passion They added that, I can tell. Gold also, as a token of his overcoming Satan and all our foes, incense as a token that he will raise from the dead and be exalted above things in heaven and things in the earth, and myrrh in token that he will drink bitter gall and feel pains of hell from Satan. And now, O Seth, my son, behold, I have revealed unto thee hidden mysteries, which Hawa had revealed unto me. Keep my commandment for thyself and for thy people. All right, y'all. And then the next one I will start. It will be the death of Adam. But that was 11 chapters, so my back hurt from leaning forward. So hope y'all enjoyed that. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you heard something or see something that I didn't see, leave me a comment. Shalom.